Hey guys, so I had a bunch of these tiny jars lying around and I decided I'd make something with them. I made a little shelf from some sticks. Hot glue is messy, so I used PVA glue. A cereal box was sacrificed for the back of the shelf. Rest in peace. I wasn't planning for this project to turn out so big in size, but the size of the jars kinda dictated everything else. I made these miniature books, and I put in way more effort than needed since you can only see the covers in the end result anyway. My favorite part of anything I make is always working on little details, and this whole thing was just a bunch of small details. I had a lot of fun making everything. I used fall leather for the covers. I only had this brown one, so I just painted it in different colors with acrylic paint. I was planning on drawing on signs that actually mean something, but somehow I just ended up drawing a bunch of random lines. I also just rolled up some paper to make these little scroll things. I used Fimo to sculpt little things I would put in the jars later. I also made some clay candles, a cauldron, and some other things. Making the jars was my favorite part. I filled them with all kinds of cute stuff like eyeballs, worms, tentacles, leeches, toes, and all kinds of fake herbs and spices. For the herbs, I mostly used dried flowers. I had a bunch of EVA foam lying around, so I decided to use that to make the floor. I glued together two 5mm pieces with some contact cement. I had some foam clay that was going to get dried up soon if I don't use it, so I sculpted the floor tiles with that. Sadly, I forgot that I wanted to add like a little fireplace thing for the cauldron, so I ended up adding that later. I rolled out some air dry clay and cut it up into little brick-sized pieces. I used some dense cardboard for the base of the wall and covered half of it with some bricks. I was planning on using the clay color as it is, but I didn't really like it, so I painted it more red. I also made these two long planks out of Sculpey oven baked clay. I covered the rest of the wall with some pieces of paper, so it looks like wallpaper, and then covered the middle gap with the plank. I usually make things in a very random order, like what seems more fun rather than what I should make first. The potions and other little details were one of the first things I made, even though the foam clay for the floor takes multiple days to fully dry, and I really should do that one first. But I guess as long as I get it done, it doesn't really matter. I added a bit of paint to make the pages look older. The books in the top shelf can still be removed, but everything else got glued down. Having everything removable would be really cool, but everything would just keep falling over and it would be a big mess. Also, don't mind the band-aids. You might see them in future videos too. I'm not actually hurt. My middle finger gets super irritated after holding tools for a long time, and the band-aid just helps for some reason. And my wrist gets messed up from my mousepad. I should really get a bigger table. It would solve a lot of my problems. I also glued together some metal details used for jewelry and painted them for some wall decorations. The cauldron got filled with some toxic green resin, bones, and eyeballs. I glued down some white rope to make a broom. I would have already used the brown one, but I didn't have one, so I just painted this one. For the fireplace, I used one of these fake tea candle lights. I cut a hole in the floor and then used some more EVA foam to build up the shape of the fireplace. For the top part, I used some LED foam. And then I shaped it with some more foam clay. I used Flex Bond, which is a cosplay primer, to prime the foam, but you could just use white glue instead. Then I moved on to do a very mediocre paint job. I don't have a lot of experience in painting, so I don't really know what to do when I have to paint big areas of a surface. I glued the walls to the floor with some contact cement and then used PVA glue to glue everything else. I also realized the floor is looking a little empty, so I made a little carpet out of some fabric and also some stacks of papers. And that's about it, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!